Hi, classic bodybuilding fans. Everyone in the bodybuilding world wants incredibly broad shoulders, but not everyone knows how to develop them properly. In this video, at a follower's request, we'll analyze the advice of the greatest natural bodybuilder, Steve Reeves, to develop incredibly broad shoulders with muscle mass that will make you stand out wherever you go. A pair of broad, fully developed shoulders is one of the most prominent features of a truly well-built physique. They exude strength, vitality, and vigor. Throughout bodybuilding history, there have been bodybuilders with spectacular shoulders, including Steve Reeves, Don Howard, Larry Scott, Sergio Oliva, Frank Zane, George Aferman, among many others. Steve Reeves mentions that everyone, both men and women, admires a person with broad shoulders. However, he doesn't want to give the impression that only those born with ample shoulders are superior to others who aren't so fortunate. Reeves states that, in his opinion, every man, regardless of his size, can develop his body in a way that will make those who are too lazy or not interested enough in improving their physique envious. Everyone would love to have broad shoulders, and if they could get them with the push of a button or buy them in a store, everyone would have them. But unfortunately, for those less ambitious, it takes a lot of really hard work to achieve them. And that's where the three basic angles from which you can broaden your shoulders come in. The first aspect Reeves mentions is deltoid development. Proper exercises and hard work can easily add 2 to 4 inches to your shoulder width. This muscle group is divided into 3 sections, or heads, as they are also commonly called. The anterior or frontal head, the lateral or external head, and the posterior head. When these 3 sections are well developed, the deltoids, viewed from the side, take on a magnificent triangular shape, and from the front, they will resemble coconuts or cannonballs. Reeves recommends exercises like snatches, presses, and cleans for shoulder strength, while for size, shape, and endurance, he recommends exercises such as front raises with either a barbell or dumbbells, lateral raises with dumbbell, alternating front and lateral raises, incline lateral raises, and a classic exercise called the dumbbell crucifix. To perform the crucifix, stand with a challenging weight and position your arms as in the final position of a press, but with a neutral grip, palms facing each other. From there, lower your arms laterally to shoulder level with a supinated grip, holding the weight for 2 seconds, and then return to the starting position. The second aspect that Reeves mentions is widening the shoulders by developing the thorax or ribcage to its maximum capacity. The development of the ribcage helps the scapula or shoulder blades to widen, giving us good breadth. This means that when the ribcage develops to its maximum extent, centimeters will be added to the width of the shoulders. For those who want to know what the scapula are, these are two flat, triangular bones located in the upper back, connecting the humerus to the clavicle and forming part of the posterior shoulder area. And the third and final aspect is to stretch and enlarge the tendons and cartilages between the scapula and the humerus. Reeves mentioned that this can be achieved by doing dumbbell stretches, hanging from rings or a bar, and performing shoulder stretching exercises. Another option Reeves recommends is the stiff Reeves deadlift, a rather interesting variation of the conventional deadlift. In this version, instead of gripping the barbell, you grip the weight plate at each end, resulting in a very wide grip. From this position, you perform a deadlift with a shrug at the end of the movement. In addition to working the lateral deltoid, this exercise significantly contributed to the widening of Reeves' scapula and clavicles, giving him unparalleled width. Using these three methods in combination, Steve Reeves says it's possible to add up to 6 inches to shoulder width. This might sound far-fetched to skeptics, but Reeves claims to have seen it happen. Many will start with enthusiasm and determination, but upon realizing it's too much work, they'll give up and their progress will be barely noticeable at best. But for those passionate individuals whose determination to build their physique is more than just words, they will discover that their efforts will bear fruit, forging a temple that reflects the strength of their will and passion. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this information from Steve Reeves has been helpful and motivates you to go to the gym and transform your physique with the advice shared by the greatest natural bodybuilder. If you like it, you can support me by subscribing, linking, and sharing the video to continue spreading classic bodybuilding. If you want to know how Steve Reeves developed one of the best set of calves in bodybuilding history, then don't miss this video. Take care of yourself and keep training hard.